Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So as we are going through the same topic, that is financial statements of proprietary concern, and in this chapter we have already looked one example of trading account. We have discussed about its format, and as I told you previously that we are going to see one more account and one statement. So this video is related to that we are going to see one more account, that is profit and loss account, and also we are going to look one example of profit and loss account with trading account, so that you can have a quick recap of trading account, like what we have done in trading account before. So with that, your profit and loss account will also be covered, and trading accounts quick recap you will have of it. Okay, then without any further ado, we will start with our video. So here I have drafted one example based on trading account as well as on profit and loss account. For your understanding, we are also covering trading account so that you can have a quick recap of trading account, which we have studied in my previous video. So let's start with the example. From the following balances, you are required to prepare trading and profit and loss account of Mr. David for the year ending 31st March 2011. So these are the balances of Mr. David, which we have to record it in trading account as well as in profit and loss account based on their nature. So let's see the balances. First item is opening stock, that is 42,000. I've already told you what is opening stock. Opening stock is the amount which we have carried forward from the last financial year. So this is the amount which we have brought down in the business on 31st March 2011. Okay, that is called as opening stock. Next one, purchases 1,10,000. Third item, sales written, that is 10,000. Now I've already told you what is sales written. If we have sold any goods to the buyer, that buyer send those goods back again to us, that is called as sales written. Next one, wages 8,000. Next one is carriage inward 2,000. Now you must have got question like what is carriage inward. Carriage inward is that type of expenses or shipping charges or handling of materials which is being brought into the business from the suppliers. Okay, if we have let's just take an example. If you are purchasing machinery, okay, so for importing that machinery you are going to pay some charges on it, so that is called as carriage inward. In short, you can call it as shipping charges imposed on materials that are being imported by suppliers. Imported from suppliers, sorry. Next one, octroi duty 500. Now octroi duty, what does it mean? It means that it is a tax levied on the goods that are being brought into the town or that are being imported in the town. So if you are living in a city and you are importing goods from outside the city, so the importation of particular goods, on that this octroi duty is levied. It is a sort of tax levied on your importation. Okay, next one, advertisement 1,200. Salaries 12,800. Now the other side, rent and taxes 4,200. Insurance 1,800. Bad debts 300. Now bad debts are those debts which are not recovered. In short, if you have lend some money to any person but he failed to return back that money after a certain period, that is called as bad debts. Next one, sales 2,25,000. purchase written 5,000. Purchase written I've already told you, but still I will bring to your notice that if you have purchased anything from suppliers and if you find any default in that product, you are returning back it to the suppliers. That is called as purchase written. Next one, commission received 1,500. Now commission, very previously I've told you, again I will bring back to your memory. Commission, if anything is being is given authority to you that you have to sell this particular item, and on that you are going to get some commission, or on that you are going to get some reward, that is called as commission received. So commission received is that type of benefit you are getting of doing a work that is assigned to you by somebody or some authorized person. Next one, discount received 500. So here it is the end of our balances. We have discussed the balances, the definitions of the balances which you don't know. So let's move on to the solution. So this is the format of trading account which you have already seen in my previous video, in my previous description of this chapter, this trading account. Again we are going to go through this, and here down here it is the profit and loss accounts format. It is similar as to trading account, but just the name is changed from trading account to profit and loss account. For instance, what it is done, that trading account and profit and loss account are both drawn in same format. Like in just the heading would be, in the books of Mr. David, trading account and profit and loss account for the year ended 31st March 2011. So this is how the solution will look like in your textbooks or your reference books. But for your understanding, I have split these accounts and made two accounts of it. First I am going to make trading account and other the profit and loss account, so that you will find it way much easier to post your items, and you will understand where these items are going to be posted. So let's start with the posting. Now the first item is opening stock, that is 42,000. We already know that it always appears in the debit side wherever it is, but remember it will always appear in debit side. So we are going to post it in the debit side of trading account, because this is trading account is the very first account of your final account. That is why it is to be brought into the business firstly in trading account, not in any other account. So we will write here to opening stock 42,000. Done. Let's move on to the next item. Next item is purchases. Now just make sure that if you have any adjustment on purchases or not. Now here this is just the starting of your example. I haven't written here the adjustment because after the balances here down here some adjustments are given to you in your question for on these items which you have to solve it. But here we are just doing a random posting. We are not going through the adjustments which we are going to learn in my upcoming videos. We are just seeing the posting of the items. Now but in these balances there is a hidden adjustment, okay, which you have to identify. Now here purchases is definitely going to have an adjustment because purchase written is given to you. Okay, so this is how you have to identify the hidden adjustment. So purchases is having adjustment, we are going to tick mark over here that we have to solve an adjustment on it, and then we have to write down the final amount in the outer column. Again just sales written this is also an adjustment on sales. So we will tick mark on sales return as well as on the sales and purchase return. So if you will tick mark itself in the question, you will find it very convenient to post the items, and remember that you have to solve adjustment on these items which are tick marked. So purchases is having adjustment over here. So we will write the amount first. First we will write the item to purchases. We are going to write down the amount in the inner column because we have to write the final amount in the outer column after you are done solving the adjustment on it. So 42,000 1,10,000 we are going to write down over here. Okay, as we are having adjustment on it, so we are writing down it in the inner column. Next one, sales return. This is an adjustment on sales, but we haven't come to the sales point yet, so we will keep it aside and move on to the next item, that is wages. Wages, this will come in your trading account. Because why it is going to be appearing in trading account? Because this is direct expenses. Okay, direct expenses are related to your factory, industry. So we are posting wages in trading account. To leave some space over here and write down the amount account here to wages. Since we are not having any adjustment on wages, so we are going to write the final amount in the outer column, 8,000. Okay. Next one is carriage inward. Now carriage inward, this is direct expenses, so that is going to be appearing in trading account. So in the debit side, it is not having any adjustment, so directly we will write the amount in the outer column to carriage inward, amount 2,000. Next one, to octroi duty, 500. Now this is also related to your business, and these are the direct expenses of your business, so it is going to appear in your trading account. Just remember, debit side of trading account is your direct expenses and credit side of trading account is your indirect income. Okay, so we will write down over here to octroi duty, we don't have any adjustment on it, so amount in outer column 500. Okay, next one, advertisement, 1,200. Now how you are going to identify if this is your expense or your income? Because it is given in debit side, so this is going to be your expense, so we are going to write down it in the profit and loss account because this is your indirect expenses. So here you are going to write down to advertisement, we don't have any adjustment on this, so amount in the outer column. Okay, so this is how you have to identify the indirect expenses and indirect income. Trading accounts debit side is your direct expenses, and here credit side is going to be your indirect income. And here in profit and loss account it is similar. This is going to be your indirect expenses and this side credit side is going to be your indirect income. Okay, I will write down over here. These are your direct expenses. Okay, and this is your direct income. Sorry, I said it wrong before, that this is your indirect income, or it is not, it is your direct income. So direct income items are going to be posted in the credit side of trading account. And here debit side is your indirect income of profit and loss account, indirect expenses, sorry. And this side is going to be your indirect income. So this is how you have to post items according to their nature. But how you are going to identify it in the question? Just see where the items are being given to you in the question. If it is given in the debit side, then those are your expenses, and if it is given it in the credit side, those are your incomes. But what type of expenses and what type of income, that you have to remember. If it is your direct expenses, then you have to post it in trading account. If it is your direct income, then you have to post it in the credit side of trading account. Okay, so this is how you have to post the items. So octroi duty we are done. So next, advertisement is also finished. This is your indirect income, because this item is given to you in the debit side, so we have to write it in the profit and loss accounts debit side, that is indirect expenses, advertisement. Next one, salaries. Now this is also our indirect income expenses, because we are giving, Mr. David is giving salaries to his employees. So here we are going to write the amount to salaries. This is your indirect expenses, 12,800. Now we are done with the debit side. Now we are going to shift towards the credit side. Now the first item in credit side is rent and taxes. Now it is given in here in the credit side, but this is your expenses. How it is going to be your expenses? Because it is your indirect expense, because Mr. David is paying that rent and taxes if he holds an office or a company or a complex on rent which he has to pay. That is why this is an expense, indirect expense. So we are going to post it in the debit side of profit and loss account. How you are going to identify indirect expenses? Indirect expenses are those expenses which are indirectly related to your business, which are not directly related to your business. Okay, so that is why we are going to post it in the debit side of profit and loss account to rent and taxes. Amount rupees 4,200. We don't have any adjustment, so amount in the outer column. Next item, insurance. Now insurance is also going to be Mr. David's expense. Okay, because he has to pay insurance if he holds one of it. So in the debit side of profit and loss account. They haven't given you received or allowed, something like that. So that is by default is going to be your expense. So you have to post it here. It is not directly related to your business. So this is your indirect expense. So we are recording it here. To insurance, amount 1,800. Okay. Next one, bad debts. Now bad debts, this is also an expense of Mr. David because the amount is not recovered. So in the debit side of profit and loss account, this is your indirect expenses which is indirectly related to your business, not in the direct way. 2 bad debts. How much is the amount? 300. Now in as this will shift on to the next statement, if we are in my next videos we are going to discuss about balance sheet, you will have an adjustment of bad debts. So that is also a very a, little bit complicated, because bad debts, this is going to be an adjustment on sundry debtors, which I will tell you how you have to solve it. But it is a tip to you that you are going to have an adjustment on it. Okay, so but the second effect is going to appear here in itself in the profit and loss account. So let's move on to the next one. Sales 2,25,000. Now this is your direct income of Mr. David. So where you have to post it? Obviously in the trading account of in the credit side. So we'll take this page down. Here, buy, sales. How much is the amount? 2,25,000. Now we are having adjustment on the sales. We have tick marked it. So the amount we are going to write it in the inner column. 2,25,000. Okay. Then after solving the adjustment, the final amount will appear in the outer column. Next one is purchase written. Now this is also an adjustment on purchases. So we are going to subtract it from purchases. So let's subtract it. Here, less purchase written amount rupees 5,000. So subtract 1,10,000 5,000 from 1,10,000. It is 1,05,000. So the final amount will appear in the outer column. So this is the final amount of purchases if after subtraction of purchase written. Next one. Commission received. Now this is going to be your indirect income because you have received it. So where it will appear? In the profit and loss account in the credit side. So let's post it. It is not directly related to your business, but you are still receiving it. That is why here you have to record it in the credit side of profit and loss account. Buy. Now here, if it is going to be a gross profit in trading account, so the gross profit will appear over here. So we are going to leave a space over here and we will move on to the next line, that is here we will write down by commission received. How much is the amount? 1,500. Okay. Next one. Discount received 500. Now this is also an indirect income. So we are going to record it in the credit side. by discount received amount rupees 500. Okay. Now the sales adjustment we have to solve. So what we have to subtract from sales? Sales return. So here we will subtract less sales return. How much is the amount? 10,000 So subtract 10,000 from 2,25,000. You will get 2,15,000. The final amount of sales. Okay, now the adjustment part. So in my reference book there is an adjustment given down here which I haven't written. I will write down here immediately. Closing stock was valued at rupees 9,500. So this is your adjustment of Mr. David, which we have to solve. Now I've already told you every adjustment has two effects, okay? One debit and one credit. So let's see where this closing stock will appear. The first effect will be in trading account credit side, because closing stock is directly related to the business, directly related to the production activities. That is why it is going to appear in the credit side of trading account. So we will record it by closing stock how much is the amount? 9,500. Okay. Now here the second effect will appear in the assets side, but that asset side is the column in the balance sheet, as we are not on the point of discussion of balance sheet. We are definitely going to have an example on it, balance sheet, but right now we are just seeing two accounts, that is trading account and profit and loss account. So second effect will be dropped over here in this question because we are not solving balance sheet. But I will tell you where the two effects will appear. First effect will be in the trading account credit side and second effect will be in the asset side of balance sheet. Since we have not drawn balance sheet, we are not on the point of discussion of balance sheet, so second effect we will drop it. The first effect is done. Now we have to do the total. Okay, so do the total of trading account. Okay, just pause this video, see the amount, do the total. Firstly do the total of credit side and then do the total of debit side and compare which value is more or large. If it is debit side is larger than credit side, then it is your loss, and if credit side is larger than debit side, then it is your profit. So check out. I have done the total over here. So here in this trading account, credit side is larger than debit side, so this is going to be your gross profit. I have already written the gross profit, that is 67,000. If it would have been the situation that debit side is greater than credit side, then it would have been gross loss. Okay, when there is a profit in trading account, you have to write gross profit, or if it is loss, then gross loss in the credit side. Now here we have incurred profit, so here to gross profit carried down 67,000. Okay, how I have done this? Firstly, I did the total of credit side, okay, and then the debit side. I compared both the column. I found out that the credit side is larger than the debit side. So the amount which I have got from the credit side, I subtracted the amount of debit side from credit side. Okay, so the balance which is required in the debit side, that is 67,000 to complete 2,24,500. So 67,000 is going to be your gross profit. So this is how you have to calculate the gross profit. Okay, now let's move on to the profit and loss account. Now here I've done the same thing which I've done in the trading account. I did the total of credit side and debit side. I compared both the side. Credit side was greater than the debit side, so I subtracted debit side total from credit side's total. The amount I got was 48,700. Okay, and remember, when whichever side's total is greater, if it is debit or credit, whichever it may be, you have to tally it with that amount. Okay, you have to write the final amount, the greater amount down here. Okay, so here also. Okay, so this is the total of credit side, and the total which I got of debit side was less than 24,500. But the amount which is greater, you have to tally it with that. So in this, the net profit we got is of 48,700, which we have to transfer it to capital account. Now capital account also appears in balance sheet in the liabilities side. So that also we are going to learn in balance sheet in my next videos. But I've written here for your understanding that this is how you have to write down. Now when you are getting profit in profit and loss account or loss in profit and loss account, you have to write net profit or net loss. Okay, but here we have incurred net profit, so I have written it in the debit side, 48,700. So this is tallied 69,600. You can even do the total of both the sides. This total we have already done it. You can do the total with this amount, net profits amount, by adding with these amounts. You will definitely get this amount, 69,000. So this is how you have to solve profit and loss account and trading account. So that's the end of our video. I hope you understood what we have discussed, how we have solved profit and loss account, and also you got a quick recap of trading account. And now in my upcoming videos, we are going to go through the balance sheet, the items that are posted in balance sheet, also example of it, and if possible we can go through the adjustments. So in this profit and loss account, I hope you got which items are to be posted in debit side, which items are to be posted in credit side, how to identify direct, indirect expenses, direct, indirect income. So on this basis, you will find way much easier to solve other type of transactions or other type of questions related to this. So if you did like this today's video, do hit that like button, share with your friends, with your classmates, and comment down your suggestions, your complaints, your queries regarding this video, regarding my other videos if you have any, and subscribe to my channel if you are new. Click that bell icon to get all new notifications of my all new videos. Till then, goodbye.